My name is Tatiana. I'm 60, a widow, and I live in a quiet neighborhood in Oregon. I've worked almost 20 years as an office manager at a law firm. I raised 2 children, Emily, now 32, and Luke, 29. And I spent my entire adulthood making sure they never lacked anything. Last Tuesday, I received an email from Emily. No subject, just her name. I smiled, thinking it was a quick update about her wedding. I had already given her $30,000 to secure the venue, photographer, and florist. But the message was short and cold. Mom, after much thought, Andrew and I have decided it would be best if you watch the wedding via livestream. Andrew's mom wants to keep it very intimate. If you want to be part of it, here's the Google Meet link. Should be just like being there, lol. Just like that, I was disinvited. I replied with 4 words, sure. Enjoy your big day. No arguments. No begging. That silence spoke louder than anything else. I finished my cold coffee, got ready for work like any other Tuesday. But something inside me shifted. I realized my sacrifices never truly meant anything to her. I spent decades giving everything I had. When Emily changed majors, I paid. When she moved across the country, I paid. When Luke bought a house, I co-signed the mortgage and handed him $10,000. I never complained. That's what mothers do, right? But that email made me feel like a transaction, useful until I wasn't. At work, my boss noticed something was wrong. He brought me a coffee and didn't ask questions. And honestly, that small act of kindness nearly broke me more than the email. By lunch, Emily started calling and texting nonstop. Mom, please answer. We need to talk. For once, I didn't answer. Instead, after work, I drove to the bank. There was another $50,000 wire scheduled to go out for her wedding, on top of the $30,000 I'd already sent. I canceled it. The banker asked if I was sure. I said I was. By the time I got home, there were 9 missed calls from Emily, 2 from Luke. Mom, please don't do this, one voicemail said. I turned off my phone, poured a glass of red wine, sat on my porch and exhaled. Later, Luke showed up angry. Mom, Emily says you're ruining the wedding. They're counting on your money. I looked at him calmly and said, not anymore. You always make everything about yourself, he snapped. That's when I told him to leave. He did. And I felt free. The next morning, dozens of missed calls, messages full of guilt and panic. Mom, will lose the venue. Andrew's parents are furious. This proves they were right about you. Not once did she apologize. She only talked about the money. Eventually she emailed saying, we can talk about you attending, but we need the funds first. That's when I understood. My presence was negotiable. Conditional. A bargaining chip. I didn't reply. That afternoon I went to lunch with my boss. When I told him the whole story, he said something I'll never forget. Sometimes the hardest part of love is setting boundaries with the people we've given the most to. For the first time, I believed him. That evening, Emily's childhood best friend Sophia showed up at my house. She said Emily was panicking, that everything was falling apart. Then she asked if there was anything Emily could say to make me change my mind. I told her gently, no, there isn't. Words are cheap when people are desperate. Real love doesn't wait until you're gone to value you. The wedding never happened as planned. They lost the venue. The florist backed out. Eventually, they held a small backyard ceremony. I wasn't invited, and this time I didn't want to be. Later, Emily sent a long emotional email. Half apology, half excuses. I read it once, then archived it. I wasn't angry anymore. Just done. Now, I wake up peaceful. I go to work. I read novels. I joined a pottery class. I have dinner with people who actually see me, not what I can give them. And I've learned something I wish I'd known sooner. If your presence is optional, your effort should be, too. You don't have to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Sometimes the strongest kind of love is the one you finally give to yourself.